Hi folks, sorry about my ghostly appearance. I'm gonna be doing makeup because I have an appointment I gotta get to. There's my dog Lemmy. But I really want to talk about something because I have kept my mouth shut and I'm like, whatever, it doesn't involve me. It does. It doesn't involve me, let me not speak on that. I don't want to get everyone riled up in the Dolly community because Lord knows I don't need people after me. But I'm sorry, I gotta talk about this. And I'm gonna be honest, I have mentioned this here or there in some Dolly groups, okay? And I want to talk about the use of AI. It really shocks me and blows my mind that in a hobby that is predominantly art-based, whether you are a creator or not, that the amount of AI that is being used would be used with no one mentioning about how they don't like it. Now, I will say I posted in a Facebook doll group a couple months ago, about how I didn't appreciate the use of AI being used when this is it's really like an art hobby, whether you're a collector or an artist who makes them. You're buying it, if you're a collector, for the art, right? Someone has to hand make these dolls. That's why these dolls are so expensive, okay? And I just think it's really funny that the same people that yell and scream at others for don't buy counterfeit dolls, only buy direct from the artist, are the same people using AI for their flyers, for their services, their events. I'm trying really hard not to be sarcastic and annoying in this video, but I can't help it. I'm so shocked. And I have to mention, how do I say it without I'm afraid they're gonna sue me because I'm speaking out against this. It's a convention that the doll community loves to go to in the summertime. Okay? Does that sound familiar to you? Okay, cool. So we'll roll with that. I had to be very careful. I forgot I put a bunch of stuff on the back of my hand. And now my dress. Oops. Anyway. So I want to talk about the people who are like, well, you have to understand that not everybody understands or not everybody knows the effects of AI. Huh? I can't even get on my phone without seeing something about AI, without seeing something about the government. This is if you live in the US, but I'm sure AI is everywhere, okay? So, okay, sure, Jam. You don't know what's going on with AI. Let me give you the benefit of the doubt. You don't know what's going on. Sure. So, benefit of the doubt. Let me educate you. Okay? I had posted this in a doll group, like I said, a couple months back, and there was a woman who was so offended by me mentioning the use of AI and how it's dangerous for the environment. It's dangerous for these artists that you all are bullying others for and saying that they should buy direct from the artist and they should spend hundreds upon thousands of dollars to buy artwork direct from the artist, which I'm not saying is wrong, but I'm saying that is your argument, that you should not be buying dolls from Amazon, you should not be buying dolls from Temu, nothing that's affordable for that person. Shouldn't be doing it because art is now a luxury. I'm not even going to get into that argument because I don't got time today. But what I'm saying is that's your argument, right? You support art and you support artists. But here you are using AI. Make it make sense. You guys don't make any sense. That's the problem. You don't make sense. You want to be hypocritical and you want to cherry pick, like most people do, what is right and what is wrong about certain things in the world. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't be for social justice and climate change and education reform and gun reform. You can't be for all that and be using AI. Okay? Because it don't make no sense. You really shouldn't even be, in my opinion, if you're against certain things, certain political things, you're against art. So I really don't think you should even be in this hobby to begin with. That's a story for another day. I agree, you should always buy direct from artists if you can. Okay? If you can. Someone making a one-of-a-kind doll from hand, yeah, you're not going to get another doll like that. You're not going to get a doll like that on Amazon. You're not going to get a doll like that on Temu. And that is the reason that it's more expensive, is because a person spent their hard time putting work into that doll. Now, there's a creator I follow who I really love, and her name is Cena. Cena's Dolls. Welcome to the big comfy couch. I love Cena, okay? Now she gets kits that might be from Amazon or Temu or what have you, and she paints them, roots them. She does great rooting. She does, I think, mostly AA dolls, or darker skinned dolls, which one is really difficult to do. I've tried it multiple times. It's difficult. I can't really even do a lighter skin doll, so I don't even want to talk about it. I'm not an artist. Well, if you make art, you're an artist. Anyway, I digress. But Cena also roots them, which rooting is not easy. None of this is easy. Nobody can just pick this up and do it usually, okay? This takes time, it takes practice, and she does a great job. Now, her sculpts might not be authentic sculpts, okay? And that means that someone, an artist, took the time to mold it out of clay, to get it poured into vinyl or silicone, and you're buying directly from, I don't know, a reputable art place that sells authentic sculpts, which can be anywhere from, you know, $50, $60 all the way up to the hundreds of dollars for just the sculpt. Just a blank sculpt. Okay? Now, that is not in the budget for everyone. And I am not of the opinion that art is a luxury. I think art is a way of life. I think art is a way of living. I don't know. That's just me. You know, I understand if I was someone who had sculpted something from my hands and had it poured and had it made, okay, I understand, and then someone wants to buy something on Temu that's not actually that doll. I get it. You know, you'd be a little slighted maybe. You'd be like, damn, I spent a lot of hard time and effort and work into that doll, and someone is choosing to buy whatever because it's less expensive. Me, just because I know what it's like to not be loaded with money, would be like, you know what, that kind of sucks, but okay, you know, I'm glad they're doing what's affordable for them. I know my clientele, I know people who will buy my work. That's fine. Okay, so the point of that long-winded story was for me to say that Cena's dolls look just as good. They look beautiful. They're beautiful works of art. She still took her time and painted that doll, rooted that doll, weighted that doll, because it's not assembled, okay? She still did all the same hard work. It's just the sculpt that she got Lemmy, what are you doing? Oh my god, he's literally eating my eyeliner, I think. Oh my god. Hold on, folks. This is serious. What are you doing? Lemmy. Oh my god, he ate my lip liner. Oh, god. These dogs will never let me have 1 cent, 1 iota of peace. Oh, Jesus H. You better go lay down. Anyway, I don't even know what I was saying now. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Jam. Do you guys know what that's from? I keep saying that. Sure, Jam. Anyway, the point is she still took the time to make these dolls, okay? And you guys are saying that now she's slighting artists and is using counterfeit sculpts, and her dolls aren't real art. I've heard that argument, by the way. I'm not making this up. And I think that is so ridiculous, because do you understand the term, like, starving artist? Like, how people for centuries, mind you, have used art as a way to express themselves, as a way to connect to other people. Art has never been like a luxury, okay? I understand if you take time, everyone takes time now, everyone has a side hustle, everybody wants to, I don't even know what, everybody wants to make a buck because of the world we live in. Okay, you should not be blaming people who can't afford to spend money on what you're selling. You need to blame the system that created the problem. Don't mind my dogs in the background. Instead of blaming the poor person for doing what they can to survive, not saying that if you buy a doll from Amazon or Temu, you're poor. This is like an overall general statement. I'm saying you should never blame the person who's tight on funds or who doesn't want to spend that amount of money on a blank sculpt, or, you know, whatever. Don't blame that person, blame the system that created it. Why is it that expensive? Okay? Why does it feel so unattainable for people? It's the same with art supplies, okay? So, I'm in a lot of art groups. I love art. I love to make art. And I use art really from whatever I have laying around. I don't feel the need to buy the most expensive products. Even if those products, let's say, work better. Okay? Sometimes that's not always true. I don't think that, like, a $30 marker is really gonna be that much better than a $10 marker, okay? I really think it all comes down to skill, and I hate to say this, not all the time, but sometimes. The reason art supplies are more expensive is because I feel like they're pandering to people to use them because they think you're lazy, okay? You don't want to work hard to make a product when you could buy something that makes the product faster, and which your opinion is better. Something is easier, it's better. That's not art, okay? Like, art is never like, oh, let's do what's easy because it'll be better and we can pump out a product. That's not art, that's capitalism. Okay? So, I digress. You can take with that what you will. I really don't care because I'm a grown woman, I'm in my 30s, I know where I stand and I know what I believe in, and that's that. Y'all can argue with yourselves in the comments if you wish. Post this to groups, I don't really care. What's been done is done and what's said is said, and all the AI memes that you guys have made are drinking up all the water. Alright? So let's move on to AI again. Move back to that subject. Let's talk about AI data centers and what they do, because some people are saying I need to give people the benefit of the doubt that they don't know what's going on. Again, okay. Sure. That must be nice. So AI data centers are going up everywhere, and you know where they're going up a lot is rural, poor places. That's where they're going, okay? And for me personally, guess what, guys? I live in a rural, poor place, okay? And the state where I live, people are a very proud people, okay? They just love this state. And like most states do, I'm sure. But they're very much of the sentiment, like, you're not gonna take my land. You're not gonna put an AI data center here. You're not gonna do that. Those are the same people using AI for their 4th of July barbecue flyers or posts or whatever. Can you get a grip? I don't understand. You guys don't even know where you stand. That's the problem, is you don't even know truly where your beliefs lie. Because if that was the case, if you were such a proud person, you love your state, you supposedly love America, I'm a total patriot, you want this place to be totally superior, because that's the truth, is you want America to be superior, or you think that it is, than any other country. Okay, good for you. I'm glad you feel that way. Why are you promoting things that actively destroy it and its people? Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense, but go off. It blows my mind, and I don't have time to sit here and hold someone's hand and walk them through the reasons in which and why things are bad, okay? Because we're not kids anymore. We're not little babies. And I'll tell you what, this convention center, this convention that everyone loves to go to in the doll community, and I myself even was like, oh, that would be so awesome and so exciting to go to that. I am appalled and shocked at the use of AI for everything. Not just flyers, not just posts, clothing. People are there selling clothing with AI generated graphics on them. Do you understand how lazy and how cheap that looks? To me, I'm gonna be totally honest, when I see someone post a doll in an AI generated graphic on a onesie, I instantly think, okay, that's so cheap. They probably got that at the Dollar Tree. That's so cheap. That's probably from Temu. That's immediately what I'm thinking. And those are the same people who are saying, don't buy from Temu. Don't buy anything from Temu. Buy direct from artists. The artists that you guys are buying direct from are using AI. They're not even artists. It blows me. It blows me, because these people, they're big names in the doll community, okay? Big names. And they're actively using AI to look how my doll looks when it's awake. As if you don't trust people to just use their fucking imagination. Have we lost the art of imagination? They're like, look at my flyer for this event I'm doing, and it's got baby bottles on it and binkies, and do you not know how to draw? You could literally go online and use, like, pick art and stamp that onto a black background and add your text, and people will still get it and be like, this is awesome, like, I can't wait to go to this event. Using AI for your event flyer doesn't make people want to go more. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, just use your brain. Especially people who are like millennials. We grew up creating like PowerPoint slides and MySpace, and using all these like cool things that we knew how to do and being very creative. And here we are using fucking AI. It blows my mind because these people who are doing it are artists. They create dolls from scratch. I don't know if they're so tired from creating extremely lifelike dolls that they now feel like they're so exhausted they can't even draw up a flyer. I don't know. I don't know what the situation is. Okay? I don't know. But what I do know is it's ridiculous. And I don't have time. I don't have time, you guys. I'm so tired. And, you know, as much as I love seeing people's dolls, I love seeing people's collections, I love seeing people's dolls. I used to love watching people vlog for this convention that everyone goes to in the summer for the Dolly hobby. Okay, I used to love doing that because I love dolls and I love seeing art. And then I tell you what, I started to get deeper into this doll hobby and realized that the AI is everywhere. It's like a freaking parasite. I can't get away from it. It's everywhere, and I'm really disappointed. I'm really disappointed because I really joined this hobby because I loved the art, the artwork of it, and I don't make a lot of money, and so I don't have a lot of dolls. And if I want more dolls, I usually have to sell a doll on, and I don't even have a lot of dolls to sell on. So, you know, it blows my mind, and I want to support direct from artists. There's a girl I a person I really enjoy their artwork, and I've messaged them a couple of times, and I'm actually, like, I would love to get art from them. I have a doll made from them, but I just can't afford it right now. I really want to, but I just can't afford it. I think, like most people in the US, we're living very much paycheck to paycheck, and sometimes that doesn't even cover it. So it can be difficult. It's hard, especially when you love a hobby. I love it. Of course I want to continue collecting dolls, and it brings me a lot of joy. And of course, and I have, all of my dolls right now are authentic, but I have bought Amazon dolls, especially when I was first starting out. And the first time that I have painted a kit, I'm not buying an $80 kit to paint on for the first time. What a waste of money. What a waste of my time. I don't know if I'm any good at this or not. Why would I buy an $80 sculpt to paint on for the first time? Get real. Just get real for a second, okay? You're being ridiculous. I mean, and I think true artists would be like, you know, you have to do what's affordable and put your heart and passion into it, otherwise it's not art, you know? And if I bought an $80 sculpt not knowing if I was any good at that hobby or not, that's like buying all the things you need for a hobby before realizing if you like it or not, which I know we're all guilty of. You know, I know you bought those journals and those scrapbooking things and just thought you were just gonna, that was your new hobby, right? And you were gonna do it, and you did it for a couple weeks and then stopped. Right. And look how much wasted money that is when you could just buy a cheaper kit, okay, and just test it out, test your skills. Why is that like looked so down upon when that is literally how this hobby started? This hobby started from people taking already kind of more lifelike, sculpturally looking dolls and stripping them down and just using paint. They took a doll that was already made. There weren't sculpts. And I think that is people's biggest thing now is like, yeah, there weren't sculpts and now there are, and you guys are still buying counterfeit dolls. First of all, listen, okay, I don't care what your argument is, argue with the wall, okay? If you, and it's like, these people I know have been through poverty. I think everyone knows what it's like to go without. Or most people do, you know? Most people are not rich. Most people are not in the 1%, okay? I think we all kind of know what it's like to go without at one point or another in life. And for you to be so just hung up on this, support artists and their art, and then using AI at the same time, it really the jokes write themselves. So I say all that to say that this channel will be a completely open channel. I don't care what you collect, I don't care how you collect it. I'm just happy that you're here, and I'm happy that you enjoy the hobby. And I will say, there is no AI usage on this channel. There never will be. If something looks tacky or trashy or like it was just thrown together, that's because it was. That's because a person actually put it together with their 2 hands and their brain. And I didn't use 2 liters or 2 gallons of fresh drinking water to create a photo of me with my dolls when I could just take a photo of me with my dolls. So I don't support that kind of thing here. If that bothers you, I'm not the channel for you. There are tons of Dolly channels out there, and I hope you enjoy their content. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. I would love to support this convention that everyone goes to every year for their dolls. I would love to support it because I would love to go. But I can't because they support AI and condemn people who don't buy sculpts direct from the artist but then use AI. And I think that's hypocritical, I think it's wrong, and I don't feel like it is true to the art form. So that will not be happening. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry there was no dolls here, but it was doll talk. Thank you. Have a great day.